back here in the program, the platform, and we are talking about fitness as usual. And we have Ms. Nesbitt here, who is a fitness expert. Can we call you that?
You can.
And she has been training a lot of women. And there are women who I see walking on West Bay Street all the time, and they are seeking to lose weight. But a whole lot of are not concerned about arms and that kind of stuff. They just want to lose weight. There's nothing wrong with that, I'm sure.
Nothing at all, no.
But you should look at your overall body to determine your muscles in your arms and legs and everywhere else, right?
Right.
Speak to that.
Well, I think it's just a matter of preference. Some women don't want, I hear it all the time, a lot of women don't want to be muscular. They don't want to see cuts in their arms or their legs. They just want to be tighter or a little firmer. So there's nothing wrong with that. I just think that having a healthy body fat percentage, which kind of relates to how much jiggle and how soft you are and how firm you are, that body fat percentage relates directly to your BMI, your body mass index, which is when it's too high, when it's over, I want to say the 35, when it's over that range, you're at a higher risk for NCDs. So that's the main thing. Like, I understand you want to have a certain image, but you also should want to be healthy.
So when you have the jiggles, as you call them, in your arms, right? Jiggles in your thighs. What do you do for that? What do you suggest to your
Well, I would say,
clients?
I'd say the walking and the cardio is an important part of, stripping the body of fat. But you'd also have to add some resistance or weight training into your regimen. You can't just walk and expect to be less jiggly, because that's not how it works. The more muscle in your body, the less fat you have, the less room for fat you have, right? And then the firmer you are. Not necessarily mean you're going to be rock solid if you go and lift 10-pound dumbbells every week, but you want some resistance training for the whole body so that you can lower that body fat percentage.
So you get rid of the jiggles by lifting weights?
Yeah, or some resistance. Some people choose to do the bands. Stretchy bands with the handles, or
to lift the big tie on the beach.
Yeah, they lift tires.
Yes, I want to know how to burn calories while I sleep. That's how, right? By lifting weights, how do you?
Yeah, weightlifting versus cardio, you burn more after you finish because your metabolism still is going, and you burn more at the end.
I don't understand. What do you mean?
First, cardio versus weightlifting. Because your heart rate is elevated as well for a longer time. You burn more calories versus just doing cardio, just walking or jogging.
Okay.
So you burn more at the end of the day.
Okay.
So I can work out in the gym and work out with the weights, and then I can
you'll
sleep
burn all
and
day,
I'll
yeah.
actually be burning calories.
Or more calories. You still burn after cardio as well, but not as much. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. So a lady has huge thighs. And you would hear some women say, I'm small on the top and I'm just have a big bottom. And there are some people who want to get rid of this weight from the waist down. How do you do that?
I'll put it like this. It's impossible to target fat loss in a specific part of your body. Losing fat is a full body challenge.
Is it really fat? Because some of it doesn't seem to be fat.
What does it seem to be?
Just people just, big legs.
No, I mean
or big
naturally
thighs.
you can't. I mean it takes. You can change the shape of your body. I mean
Right.
everybody has a body type, right? And a metabolic type, but it takes a very long time to change the shape of your body, the structure of your body. But you can eliminate if a woman with big legs, I can guarantee you, if she has massive big legs, a lot of it is fat, especially if it jiggles. A lot of it is fat. If it jiggles, it's fat. That's the rule.
Okay.
So if it's fat, then her lowering her overall body fat percentage is going to shrink that. Mind you, it still may be big in proportion to the rest of her body if that's her shape, right? But she'd have to lose some body fat to get it down.
Okay.
Everything else may come down with it, But that's where the weights come in too, because you're able to build with the weights. You're able to build muscle in areas that you want. And that's a huge part of bodybuilding too. If we want smaller waists, we build our backs to be wider, so the waist looks smaller. That makes sense.
Oh, so it's more of an optical
It
illusion?
is, and when you have smaller legs, it all comes into a taper.
So, but the fat is really primarily what you eat. So you can work out all you want and eat wrong and still be fat.
Oh yeah,
all
diet is.
about
Some people say
what you eat.
80%. I think it's 90% of the challenge.
Diet is 90%?
Yep.
So you must be very careful on what you eat.
Yeah, you have to just eat instead of. I mean, it's a difference between eating healthy foods and eating for your goals. You can say, well, I'm having a balanced meal every day. I'm having my carbs in the right amounts. I have my protein in the right amounts, but I'm not losing any weight because maybe you need to cut back on the portions or alternate the days you have carbs. Just because that's your goal. If your goal is to maintain, that might be fine. But if you're trying to lose, then you'd have to alternate your diet and manipulate it a bit more. That makes sense.
Do you have a regimen for how people ought to eat? People who's are in your program,
Yeah.
for instance, a chart or weekly list of things.
I usually do monthly meal plans. I try to keep it interesting because I know the challenge. They're not bodybuilders like me, so they're not going to want to eat the same food every day. So I try to give a guideline that is very realistic. And that gives them a window for adding in some of their favorite stuff and, not feeling so deprived. I think that's the biggest challenge of being on a diet. Everyone feels deprived. It's like, I can't eat this, I can't eat that, I can't eat that. What can I eat? And so they get frustrated and they do it for a week and throw their hands up in the air. So I try to do meal plans that are creative and, give them a lot of options, opposed to telling them what they can't have.
Of course, you stay away from a lot of sugar, eh?
Sugar is the devil. Yeah.
Sugar is the devil.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean,
Sugar
obviously,
and salt?
Salt is not that bad. I mean, your body does need some sodium. So I've never told people you can't have salt at all. Just moderate it, especially if you have pressure and issues like that. But yeah, sugar is the devil.
Sugar is the devil.
Yeah.
You stay away from the desserts?
Stay away. For the most part, yes. When I'm getting ready for shows, yes. But obviously, like you said, everything in moderation. When I'm done with my season of competing, I have about 2 weeks that I kind of just go out and find what I've been wanting for those couple of months. And then I go and I work out again and I get back to my diet.
So you'll get some ice cream after competing?
Definitely.
And you'll have some ice cream for 2 weeks and then you would go back with no sugar at all? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
What about wines?
Wines, if you're gonna have wine, red is better. But still in moderation. Some people, I mean, there's been a lot of studies saying that wine helps, blood flow and oxygen to the blood, which it does. And we even do it in competing. I take a shot of wine before I go on stage because it helps with the vascularity, getting oxygen to the blood.
With what?
Vascularity, like being able to see your veins and your muscles pop on stage.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not against red wine, but
So
in moderation.
You want to see
not a whole bottle.
Do you have photographs
All the
with Ms. Nesbitt, by the way?
Oh, yes.
Are we showing these photographs?
They're going to be inserted.
Very good. All right. So that we can see exactly how these curves are. Because she's been doing this now for many, many years.
Well, this is my third year competing, so at
Third
this,
year competing, but
at this
you've been
level,
lifting before you started competing.
Yes, I've been lifting. I was lifting for 7 years before I started competing.
7 years. So you've been doing it for 10 years.
Yeah, next year I'll make 10 years.
Next year makes 10 years. Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to ask you the questions that I believe women want answered.
Okay.
The flabs in their waist, what you call them, the handles?
Love handles.
Love handles. How do you get rid of love handles?
You get rid of everything that you don't want, everything that's jiggling, that's out of place, lowering your body fat percentage. How do you lower your body fat percentage? You diet and you do enough cardio and some weight training.
And how you diet? You
Yeah.
diet with plant-based diet and portion size?
Yeah, my best advice would be to seek the guidance of a professional. Before, don't just go and, because it can be very overwhelming, because some people tell you this method works, but it has to be created for your body type and for your goal. And so if you want something that's going to help you to shed fat, you need to search for that, but also search something that fits your body type, if that makes sense, and your metabolism. And so that all that factors into your age and, you know, your activity level, how often you work out. If you're not working out every day, then you may need a lot less carbs than someone who is working out every day, you know. So all of that goes into the type of diet that you plan. But I would always say the safest diet is a low carb or moderate carb to high protein. That's the general rule when you're trying to lose body fat, lose the love handles. Just change it up. Low to no carbs most days, and high protein.
High protein, and give us some idea of how do you bring the protein level up?
Well, obviously from your fish, your chicken, lean meats, turkey, but some people do supplements as well, the protein shakes, and they do have plant-based. The only challenge with plant-based protein is that you need double the amount to match the non-plant-based. So a lot of people have trouble like having all of that in a serving, and it is still filling, even though it's a shake. So, yeah, but that does help. I know I usually do about 2 shakes a day just to get enough protein in for what I'm trying to achieve.
How long you're going to be doing this?
With bodybuilding?
Yes.
As long as I feel it's right.
As long as you feel it's right, you don't have a set time. Well, you know, when I'm 45, you know.
Okay, I don't think it's going to be that long. I don't think it's going to be that long. But, I mean, for now, I think the benefit that it's having on me and my brand, right now I can say at least for the next 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah,
Okay.
safely.
We take this final break here on the platform. We'll come back.